Here's some video of a bust of Abraham Lincoln being carried out of the West Wing.
Donald Trump appears to be looting the White House. That's right. Now, I have a clip coming up to show you this. I'll also get into, though, maybe why he needs the money. So before I get to any of that, and also another example of something being taken from the White House that isn't his, let me play this clip for you from CNN.
And I just want to show you some video of what's happening over here at the White House right now, Brooke.
Yeah.
They are starting to put up bunting on some of the construction over here at the White House that is taking place for the Biden inauguration that is going to take place next week. We're seeing video of that right now. You can see they put up bunting that says Biden-Harris inauguration 2021. It's on some of these risers that are facing the White House. So presumably, Brooke, the president could look out his windows right now and see this bunting go up. That is obviously not going to sit well with the president seeing those kinds of preps going on when he, in fact, doesn't think he even lost the election. In addition to that, we're seeing what looks like moving day over here at the White House. You're seeing things, items coming and going from the West Wing. We saw Larry Kudlow leaving earlier today. Here's some video of a bust of Abraham Lincoln being carried out of the West Wing. People need to know that the items inside the White House are not giveaways. They're not souvenirs you can take home. This is not an estate sale or antique roadshow. But yet you're seeing some White House staffers taking mementos with them as they go. Peter Navarro was caught on camera taking a jumbo photograph of himself and the president dealing with the Chinese. And so, you know, it is a strange sort of surreal look at the end days of the Trump presidency, but that's what we're in the midst of right now.
The looter in chief taking what he can from the White House days before he's gone. Now, I'll get to why maybe he needs the money. Wait for that. But I just want to buttress this point. This is Jim Acosta mentioned it in that clip that Peter Navarro was seen leaving the White House with an image of Trump and the Chinese president. Here it is here. So, look, I don't know what they're doing, but this doesn't belong to them. So in case you don't know here, gifts are supposed to be stored and then moved to a presidential library. If the president wants to buy a gift, he or she can purchase it from the government. The president is also not allowed to accept and keep presents from foreign governments, and the minimal value of a gift is limited to less than $20. So, yeah, that image clearly does not belong to him. The bust of Abraham Lincoln does not belong to him. I'm sure there were other things taken, though I didn't see, so, you know, I don't want to just assume, but if they're taking two things, they're probably taking a lot more. Now, there's also, this is related. So Trump refusing to pay Rudy Giuliani's legal fees after falling out. Trump, this is what Trump does. But before he became president, this is how he often treats people that are around him, that are working for him. He just doesn't pay them. And he's doing it again now, possibly for other reasons. Yes, Giuliani, of course, has not been successful because there is no voter fraud, so he could only do so much for Donald Trump. But also, Trump is going to need the money, especially if he is impeached and convicted. So as ABC writes here, under the former President's Act, President Donald Trump is entitled to an office and staff, a pension, and up to $1 million for annual security and travel expenses, and lifetime protection from the Secret Service, all funded by taxpayers once he leaves office. That is, unless he's impeached and convicted by Congress. So he's already been impeached. He could be convicted. Now, it's going to be tough to get those 17 Republicans on board, but he could be convicted. That said, even if he's convicted after he leaves office, there is some debate of whether or not he would actually be impacted by this, because the way the language works for the Former President's Act, it says you must be a former president. So if he's convicted before January 20th, he would not be a former president, and he would be counted as somebody who was impeached and convicted while in office. But after January 20th, he would be considered to be a former president, meaning that he could still be entitled to all this stuff, even though he was convicted, but because he was convicted after January 20th. So regardless, though, this is clear. Sources have told ABC News that in the days after the 2020 election, the president has been asking about his post-presidency financial security, fearful for his and his family's safety. Of course, Donald Trump realizes that he's going to have a tough time making money after this. His name is worth nothing. It's worth less than nothing now. And in addition to that, he has a lot to deal with. So as CNN writes, as University of Chicago law professor Daniel Hemel wrote in the Washington Post, quote, the stakes for Trump this fall are far greater than for past presidents seeking re-election. For him, a loss would mean not only the end of a political career, but also potentially personal and financial ruin. So a part of that, of course, is the potential tax fraud that he committed, discussed during the first round of impeachment, with Michael Cohen, his former lawyer, coming out and discussing how Trump would inflate his assets and then devalue his assets when it came to his taxes, meaning that he is committing tax fraud. So he may have to deal with that. Also, as you may have seen in the past, Rolling Stone writing here, $400 million is a peanut. Trump admits to downplays massive debt during town hall. So over $400 million in debt that Trump is also going to have to deal with. Yeah, I'm not sure how much that bust of Abe Lincoln is going for, or the picture of him with the Chinese president, but he may need to steal a little more, and maybe the entire White House, to actually make up for the financial ruin that he's going to be facing.